Hello, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and today I'm going to break down reality creation from A to Z. Right, so, question of birth, starting right at the beginning, right? We have all heard it. We don't choose where we are born. It sounds super obvious, right? Almost factually correct. But how do you know that? How do you know you didn't choose anything? And the only reason people really accept this idea is that they look at their own circumstances and they think, if I had a choice, I would never have picked this. I wouldn't have picked poverty, pain, and limitation. Why would I choose it now? Right? So, who did choose it? So, the mind concludes, I couldn't have chosen this. God exists, but somehow I exist apart from that, and I have to earn that love. But here's the real question. If you wouldn't choose this then, why can't you just choose something else right now if you have any kind of choice in your life, right? Because you are making choices all the time. The choice to earn something is also a choice. If you can't make any choice, why can you make that one? And if you can imagine yourself living differently, why aren't you simply living that life already? I don't mean imagining how to overcome those barriers because that is also now a choice. You are choosing to imagine overcoming those barriers versus choosing to just embody the version of yourself that you would like to be. It's all choice. The answer always comes back to, well, I want to imagine this, but I need to figure out this part first. I need to figure out the conditions, the circumstances, the requirements, the demons I need to fight before I can be free. Yet, God gave you the imagination where all of these blocks just simply exist. It's a gift to see, feel, and live inwardly as if it were already true and let the outer circumstances reflect that inner feeling and being. If you never meant to embody it, why would you have it? We have so much and we have so varying degrees of experiencing. What's the point? And if there is no point, why bother in the first place? So, we tell ourselves stories to justify why we can't live the life we dream of. It's a paradox of choice, right? I can't because of where I was born. I can't imagine this because of this thing happening now. I can't because I don't have the resources. I can only imagine having money if I have money. Then, if you never have money, I can't imagine having money. So, what changes? You suddenly randomly get money. Now you can imagine having money or buying something. You could have done that beforehand. Why not? Because it didn't feel good. Why didn't it feel good? Because I believed that the circumstances are real. I believe that the circumstances dictate what I am imagining. I believe the circumstances are more real, and when they become more real in the way that I want them to be, then I can imagine something. But right now I can't because life is unfair. But here's the thing. Your imagination is real. Why do you not see that everything in your imagination is actually fair? You can fairly choose to imagine anything you like. And if it feels real when you do it, why is the imagined life not as valid as the lived one currently? What makes one true and the other impossible? Why does the impossible suddenly become possible when the 3D rearranges itself to make things a little bit more amenable for you to imagine it? Oh, I have a little bit more money now, I can imagine buying those shoes. Right? And the paradox is this. You already have the ability to assume yourself into a new state of being, yet you don't believe it. Somehow we believe the randomness of three-dimensional reality dictates what we can imagine of ourselves. You imagine the life that you want, then immediately argue against it. You say, I am this, but not really. My friends are that, but I'm not really. I practice and I do everything right, but nothing works out right. Because you imagine something, and the moment something happens, you click your foot on a rock, you say, why is this rock in my way? Instead of saying, oh, there was a rock there, cool, and keep walking. But who gave you that ability to imagine in the first place? That is the fingerprint of God within you. Right? To reject it is to reject your own divinity. And we have a very incoherent belief system. If you look closely at the belief system that we inherited, they are stitched together with contradictions. God is everything except my problems. God made me perfect, but I was born broken and I must earn perfection. My birth was random, but my death is destined for heaven or hell, or whatever I currently believe in. God is all powerful, but apparently powerless over the devil and the choices I make because of said person. You see how incoherent we are, right? We project our 3D limitations onto that which is unlimited and creating those same limitations for itself to experience. This is the A to Z of borrowed beliefs, right? We're filling in the blanks with whatever someone told us, whatever sounded good, whatever feels right, whatever we clung to when we are afraid, whatever we cling to when we are frightened. A to Z, right? The story doesn't align. It's not a chain of truth. It is a chain of contradictory beliefs. And you can really see this, right? And contradictions always lead to suffering. You can see people who are praying, but then they'll go about the most inordinate way to do so. And then they'll behave differently in their day-to-day life. But suddenly when it comes to prayer, they're a completely different person. Because we're incoherently living, right? And take Jesus, for example. Take the story of Jesus, God incarnated, born in a manger. Why not a palace? Why not as a Roman emperor? If God is everything, couldn't Jesus have come from a throne with power already in hand? Deeper so, why was there even a Roman Empire and Israel? And you can expand this to Hindus and Muslims and Christians and Taoists. Why have any of this? Why have any of this? Every one of us, every one of these religions, every kind of person who does believe in a higher power believes in a higher power, but they limit that higher power into I am right, not you. You're right, not them. We all right, not these people. Why? Why not say God is literally everything expanded? If God actually existed as everything, why do we then limit it by limiting what it is and what it can't be? That's just the mind doing that, creating compartments so we can experience reality. Right? The mind creates TV channels. You can't watch all the TV channels on one channel. You have to watch them separately because that's how your mind works. But don't let the mind separating the TV channels dissuade you from realizing that all those channels are coming in from one frequency. The TV is designed to split that frequency onto different channels so you can experience it. Your physical self, your physical senses, your physical being is designed so you can experience the simultaneousness of all reality and splitting itself so you can experience it. But don't let the mind splitting something dictate what it actually is. The TV is showing you that all channels are different frequencies. It's one frequency coming in and it's deciphering it. It's decoding it. It's filtering out every frequency by you changing the channel. Netflix, it's one frequency of information, and it's filtering out what it's giving you. Just like your physical self is doing the same thing. The manger is symbolic. It shows that the circumstances do not define essence. Divinity is divinity. It's just everything, right? Even if a person as great as Jesus was born surrounded by straw and hay and animals, doesn't make him any less divine, just like you. Power in surrounding and experienced weakness is still absolute power, being that absolute experience of weakness. You watch a movie and someone's being incredibly weak in the movie. You say, wow, what a performance. Not, why is this weak person there? You say, wow, what a performance of that. Right? But when it's our lives, you say, oh no, I'm so weak, I can't have earned something. No, it's God being you as that weakness in that moment. You experiencing what weakness is. That's it. That's literally all it is. The lesson is clear. It was never about where you begin. Right? It's always about who you are. Jesus knew his acolytes before they knew him. Right? John prophesied his arrival before he appeared. Destiny was already written. So ask yourself, if God's chosen representative of divinity entered through a humble birth, what makes you belief, your conditions strip you of your own divine nature. Here's the funny thing: if you ever played Monopoly, you all start at the same place, but the person who plays the game better has more buildings. It's not luck. No matter how many times you roll the dice that say, "Oh, I rolled poorly." No, you didn't roll poorly. You rolled perfectly for where you are, for who you say you are. Life's basically a game of Monopoly, and you aren't rolling dice. You're experiencing where you landed through those dice. That actually is that, right? The only truth is I am, right? Strip away every belief, every contradiction, every borrowed belief. What do you actually know for sure? I exist. I am. This is the only undeniable truth. You may not know what you are, you may not know why you are here, you may not know how you are, but you know you are. That's the first and last step of reality creation. I exist, except that little fundamental thing. When Moses asked God's name, the reply was, I am, that I am. I exist as existence. I am that I am. Not I was, not I will be, not I am sometimes. Only ever I am. So wherever you are, whatever you are imagining yourself as, you are. That's it. Everything else, every thought, every belief, every story is layered onto that. But none of it is more real than the fact of existence itself. If you're wondering what that noise was, I believe it's my house cleaner being very angry at a table. No, she's very efficient. You are not creating reality, you are reality, right? Reality is not out there. It is not separate from you. It is your own awareness unfolded in form, right? Nothing is being created, it is already created. What you imagine is not fiction. The fiction is believing what you have imagined, and what's happening in reality, as 3D reality, is the only reality, is the only thing going on. That's fiction. All of reality simply exists. Your story of reality is what we are calling reality. It is another aspect of the already created whole, right? Reality doesn't exist without your experiencing of that existence of it. I don't mean the entirety of reality as those frozen frames doesn't exist. Those frozen frames exist. But what we are calling an experience of reality doesn't exist without your linear experiencing of it. The moment you touch it in your awareness, realize it is yours. Not someday, not later, as you are experiencing it. It is you showing you that this is mine already. No catch up, no gap, no waiting. Reality is not behind you, it is all ahead of you. It is right now being experienced through you and as you and for you. So, dropping the illusion that God is less than anything. The story that suffering makes you worthy. Jesus was suffering for whatever. He wasn't suffering for anything. The story that wealth is empty, the story that love is rare, the story that you cannot live the life that you imagine. Remember, Jesus' suffering is a metaphysical story that no matter how and what conditions you are going through, they don't determine whether you are God or not. They do nothing to disillude you from being who you are. That's what their story means. And Jesus' desired end was everyone sees that you are your desired end. So even though he died in the story for that, and he was resurrected subsequently, right? Anyway, he died at some point, right? For his desired end, which is everyone realized that the kingdom of God is within them, and that is still carrying on. You see, his desire is still carrying on as our own experiencing of reality. It wasn't his intention to be here to experience that, because he never leaves, he never left, he never went anywhere. Jesus is the representation of I am awareness. So are you. So, no, I'm not that. Yeah, you are exactly that. No less and no more. You are perfect right now. Right? So drop all those illusions that you are less than anything. Because every one of those stories is just another way of you saying God is not enough. And if God is everything, then that can't be true. And the more you see yourself as less, the more you shrink God in your own mind, and you experience the littleness of what reality can be. The moment you drop the illusion, you see God and yourself, you are whole again. Do you want to be healed? Then walk in that knowing. The pool of Bethesda healing. Do you want to be healed? Yes. Then walk in that knowing God is everything. Imaginational practice, right? Guys love processes. Here's one. I like this process. I do actually like this process very much. It's not really a process, it's more of a state of willingness. Imagine fully, extravagantly, ridiculously. Imagine what you told yourself was impossible, too much, and too far. Imagine and realize that little thing that you are holding yourself back from because you think that it doesn't fit in the scene that you want to. Imagine that too. This is the very edge where you will find truth and you will see that I am giving myself everything. Literally in that moment, I'm giving myself everything that I desire. Knowing that it is with me, knowing that I'm already living this life and I accept it. I accept this life as my own. Because if you can see it, it is already within you. Because you couldn't see something that isn't within you. How would you see something that isn't within you already? I am one with this. Thank you for my awareness of it. Thank you for knowing that it is already mine. The knowing. And then drop it. Let it be. Don't chase it. Don't wait. Don't try to create it. Just rest in the I am awareness that what I have experienced, the ladder that I have climbed within, is the ladder unfolding in my awareness that I am climbing right now. And let the unfolding happen through you. Walk in that knowing. So, from confusion to coherence, from borrowed beliefs to direct knowing, from effort to simple being. The A to Z of reality is not a journey across 26 letters. It is a circle returning to its beginning of I am awareness. You are everything you imagine yourself to be. You are awareness itself. You are reality and is unfolding not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. I am everything I can imagine myself to be. I am awareness. I am reality. And it is unfolding for me, through me, and as me right now. Whew. Mouthful there. But thank you for joining me, those who did. That being said, much love, much light, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Reality with Reese. I am your host. Truly, thank you for the comments, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Much love to you all. There's a TikTok page available if you want to check that out. Facebook group community growing every day, if you can check that out as well. My email is in the description box below. You can reach out if you want a personal conversation. Much love, much light, and I will see you all in the next one.